Well, young basketball players got the chance to play alongside the Denfeld Hunters girls team tonight. Kids in the Duluth Working Basketball Association got to attend a high school basketball practice to expand their skills on the Denfeld court. The association serves hundreds of boys and girls interested in basketball from ages kindergarten through 8th grade. These hybrid practices give kids a look into the future as well as people to look up to.
We have kids in the gym right now playing for varsity that played in RBA and remember going to practices like that and how it kind of flipped the switch for them on wanting to play varsity. It's an opportunity for the players to engage with the varsity coaches and players where they might someday go and play.
Yeah, I love that. The Working Basketball Association is hosting more hybrid practices this winter. The association is made possible through the sponsorship of the Salvation Army.
Remember doing those practices and camps as a kid? You're little and you're looking up to these high school and college athletes like, oh my gosh.
I know.
I could be you someday.
Well, those experiences, they have role models and they don't forget those moments.
No,
for sure.
you don't. I can remember the same thing, watching varsity volleyball games and thinking, man, one day. And then
one day that's going to be me, and one day it is you.
I know, a long time ago.
And now you're here with us.
Oh, wow, Jay.